September 21st, 1996. A Saturday night, the air was thick with tension, as if the world itself was holding its breath. Danny Hinn, a fiery 15-year-old with a love for science and fishing, stormed out of her home after a heated family argument. Her heart pounded as she left, the weight of unspoken words heavy on her shoulders. She drove her Chevy pickup to Cameron Bridge, a remote fishing spot she knew well, hoping to find solace in the familiar. The road was dark and winding, mirroring her turbulent thoughts. But Danny never came back. Her truck was found abandoned, the fishing spot eerily quiet. The silence was deafening, a stark contrast to the chaos that had driven her there.
Danny, where are you?
The desperation in their voices was palpable. By midnight, the search party's cries echoed through the woods, their flashlights piercing the darkness. The forest seemed to swallow their voices, offering no clues. But the only answer was the river's cold whisper, a haunting reminder of her absence. The mist over the water seemed to dance, as if mocking their efforts. 2 days later, authorities declared Danny's death an accident, a tragic mishap that took her life too soon. They held a press conference, stating it was an unfortunate event, a simple accident that no one could have foreseen. They claimed it was a tragic slip into shallow water, a simple misstep that led to her demise. The official report painted a picture of a young woman who lost her balance and fell, a narrative that seemed too convenient. But her family knew better. They sensed something was terribly wrong, something hidden beneath the surface. They couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to the story, a dark truth that was being concealed.
They said she drowned. No bruises, no cuts. But my sister fought. She always fought. She was a fighter, never one to give up easily. The lack of injuries didn't add up. It didn't match the person we knew, the person who would have fought tooth and nail to survive.
The sheriff buried the truth. Danny had been raped, a brutal crime masked by lies. The authorities chose to ignore the evidence, to turn a blind eye to the horror she endured. Her head held down in the mud until she choked on earth and rage, silenced by the very ground she loved. The details were gruesome, a stark contrast to the serene image of an accidental drowning. But in 1996, small-town politics trumped justice. The truth was buried, and the town moved on, leaving her family to mourn in silence. The community chose to forget, to pretend it never happened, while her family was left with unanswered questions and a void that could never be filled. 27 years later, retired LAPD Captain Tom Elfmont vowed to crack the case. What he found, a web of lies, and a DNA sample colder than Montana's winters.
The killer's DNA led to Paul Hutchinson, a respected government biologist. A hunter, a family man, and a monster. Ever been to Cameron Bridge, Paul?
Hutchinson cracked, bled, but the past doesn't run. It hunts. 12 hours later, Hutchinson lay dead, a self-inflicted bullet, his final confession. But the nightmare wasn't over.
He robbed her of everything, her dreams, her future, her very essence. She was left with nothing but memories and a shattered heart, prom, college, a life filled with potential. She had so much ahead of her. And the sheriff? They let him walk free for 28 years. 28 years of injustice. 28 years of pain for the families.
The question lingers. How many others did Hutchinson kill? How many lives were stolen? How many families were left in despair? His job took him to rivers across the West. Rivers where women vanished without a trace. Rivers that became silent graves. Rivers that never gave up their dead. Silent witnesses to unspeakable crimes. The water holds secrets. Secrets that may never be revealed. Danny Hinn's case is closed. But in Montana's wild heart, shadows still whisper. And sometimes, the quietest places hide the loudest screams. If you have information about Paul Hutchinson, contact Gallatin County Sheriff's Office.